Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome back for week 39 of Build Your Stash and Craft. So we had cut a bunch of little 1-inch squares last week to make our garland, and I cut so many that it got me to thinking about Inchies. Inchies was something that was popular a while back, and they're just very fun to make, and you can use them to put on a card. You can use them to trade with people. They're just really fun to do, or otherwise you can just use them as something to do when you feel like doing something. So what made me kind of think of it was, as I was cutting out the hearts for the bottom of our garland that we made last week, I got to thinking, wouldn't that look cute just layered up onto one of the other Inchies that was a different color? And so I did a couple of them, and once you put it on there, it doesn't look, you know, super like fascinating, but then you decorate it up a little bit and voila, you've got a really cute little Inchie. And again, like I said, if you have a card, you take the card and you could line them up. Oops, you could line them up like this on your card, just going down the center of the card or on an angle, you know, up, you know, like this way from corner to corner type thing. You can put them on tags for journals, like you can trade them, and you can do Inchies and you can do Twinchies. Twinchies are 2 inches by 2 inches. Inchies are 1 inch by 1 inch. And then you have like your ATC cards, which these also make great decorations for an ATC card because they're the perfect size to put on an ATC card without it taking up all of your space. So all I did when I made those was just took the cutout after I'd cut out my heart, and I just layered it up on one of my other colors and glued them together. And so other things that you can do with them is I just went through a little book that I had, and I came up with all of these little tiny bits. I've got a little cross and a little blue butterfly, and these all just came out of a kid's book that I had laying around. I was sitting in my chair one night. We've got a cute little oh, what do you call that, ladybug, and we've got this cute little groundhog or prairie dog popping out of its hole there, and another butterfly, a flower, some frogs, and even just a little, oh, I can't think of what you would call it, piece of a building. There's a name for it, but can't think of it. And let's see here. It looks like I've even got, yeah, a little bird. So, and then also in that book were all of these little flags. So they would be really cute to cut off and put on your Inchie. And I was going to cut them all into little flags. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll leave it because if I decide to do one, like, let's just get started here. So we have our 1-inch squares, 1 inch by 1 inch. And then you just decide what you're going to decorate it with. And, you know, sometimes it feels like it's so little, I have no idea how to decorate it because, you know, you're thinking of how tiny it is. But when you look through your books, you just look at, you know, just look for something that is less than 1 inch and pick that out. So that looks cute on there. That's a little Canadian flag on there. But let's make it stand out just a little bit by just taking a marker. Let's see. I'm going to do black because I like black outlines. So we'll just take one of our black markers and go around the edge to give it a black border, and that will make it stand out just a little bit more from the purple and red background. And even if it was a white background or, you know, something that it would stand out all on its own, I kind of like sometimes to do that edging just to really make it stand out. So, you know, we've got that little flag. And so originally I was thinking of just using the flags because they're perfect size for 1 inch. I mean, we've still got a lot of room there. But then I thought, well, maybe I want to go ahead and put the name of the country with the flag. And so I left those on there because if I decide I want to just use the flag, I could do that. But if I decide I want the name of the country, if I leave it together like that, then I will have it for later. And And I can choose at that time whether to use the name of the country or not. And it also keeps it a little bit bigger, leaving it like that. Sometimes these little tiny bits, if you cut them all out ahead of time, they're hard to keep track of. And so if you kind of leave them a little bit on a bigger piece, that may help. And that's when they're tiny, tiny, because I also do find that if I leave things all connected, I don't have as much inspiration as if I have them individually, because I'm seeing them as a whole, and it's not really making me think like what I could do with it. I can't see it as well if it's not individual all by itself. Now, because I used a permanent black marker on there, I'm using my glue sponge to glue it down. So I'm not trying to put glue a little bit on the back and then put it on there and it squishes all over the place. If that was a water-based marker, that possibly could make, it could make your marker run. So you would want to think about that. But, I'm just, oh, well, kind of messed that up because, see, I just came onto there. So what will I do? Well, I'll just kind of come from this corner up to there. Like that. So we'll put a little point there. And we'll do the same thing on this side. Let's see. Start here and kind of swoop out just a little bit. That's a little low. So when I make a mistake, it bothers me. And, you know, you can just kind of leave it there and see how it looks. Or you can just go ahead and play with it until you're happy with the way that it looks. Now I'll carefully, hopefully, go along the top and the bottom. I really want to do a little bit more right there. And maybe just because a few little dots. And there we go. You can, you know, do as much as you want or as little as you want. I think that that looks cute just the way that it is. Excuse me. And so there we go. We have an Inchie and we have this Inchie. And what I was going to do with this was I was going to kind of doodle on it like this one. But then my accidental mistake made me doodle a little differently. So, you know, it's just a matter of playing with it. And I did some that were almost a whole inch. And so then that one, I cut it just a little bit smaller than an inch so that I could fit it right on here. And instead of cutting out the whole butterfly, I just cut about 1/8 of an inch less than an inch off each side. So I'm going to actually even trim that just a little tiny bit more. And that's going to go right on there. And these are not exactly perfect. I did cut them with a cutter, but they're still not perfect. Now, I could go along the edges of this one, but I kind of think I like the way that those look together just like they are. So I'm just going to glue that one on there just like that. And just use our glue sponge for that. And we made this glue sponge earlier in the series if you want to see how to do that. They're very simple to do, and they work really well, especially when you're working with tiny bits that you want to glue or anything that's very intricate. They work great if you have a die cutting machine and you use it for little intricate dyeing or dies. They work great to glue those down. I like that one just the way it is all by itself. And so then we've got, let's see, we've got all those. I really like this little, that's the little groundhog. He's cute. And let's do a yellow one. And I'm trying to think if maybe I want him. He's a little bit too big, so I'm going to cut off just a little bit more on the edges. Put him on there. And do I want to put the butterfly, do I want to put this flower behind him? Now, technically, on an Inchie or a Twinchie, and really the rules come from the rules of an ATC, you're not supposed to have anything sticking out over the edge. But I think that that is really cute. And so I am going to put those on there like that. But let me show you this. Because we say no rules, I'm okay with the fact that that flower sticks out just a little bit. But this is very, very plain. I don't really care for that. So I want to do something to that little corner before I put those on there, so that it will be easier to do. And do I have, I'm trying to see if I have any color here. I do have my markers. Well, maybe I will just use this orange marker. And just kind of dot around. That should do it. And then we'll see what that looks like if we put him on there. And put the flower on there. And then the thought would be, do I need to bring the little dots down on each side of him and underneath of him? Because it's just yellow there, but I don't think so. I think I like them right where they're at. And, okay, now I might really totally mess it up, but kind of wondering what it would look like if I just kind of put a little circle around them. And, you know, don't try and, you know, well, what I'm doing is I'm not trying to do it perfectly. I'm just putting a little kind of messy circle on there. You let it look messy so that it looks obvious that that is the way that you did it. And if you wanted to do it perfectly and you try and do it perfectly and then you mess one up and think, I have to start all over. Try making all of them messy after that. Just go around them again. Some of them are perfect and some of them are not. Go ahead and just kind of make another messy circle around them. And then see how that looks before you decide to discard it. And then we'll put the flower on first, because that needs to be underneath of our little groundhog. He's not a groundhog. He's a prairie dog. When I lived in Texas, there was a park called Prairie Pete Park, and they had a great big, like cement prairie dog at the entrance of it. And then they had all these little mounds out there, and you'd go and you would watch, and all these little prairie dogs would pop their heads out, go back up and down and up and down, and, you know, run here and there. They were so cute. And I am from Michigan. I lived in Texas for 6 years, but I had never seen a prairie dog before. And so I just thought they were adorable. I guess the people that lived there really didn't care for them, because they make a mess of your yard. But there we go. There's another one. And see how quick they are to do? So I just think that they are really awesome and really fun. And so something else that you can do is just doodle. And like, let's say we want this heart to stand up, but I don't want to try and go around the outside edge because it may be kind of hard. So I will just go ahead and go on the inside of the heart. It kind of holds your pen in there, so a little bit easier. Kind of made it a little bit of a mess right there, so I'll thicken it up. And I'll think, do I want to thicken it up here and here? Or I could thicken up just this side and not this side. I have a part right here that I want to straighten out a little bit. And I think that we will just go ahead and thicken up this side and leave the other side thin. And so that's another thing that you can do. It makes it look like you did it on purpose, because this whole side is thick and the other side is not. So, and then maybe we'll go over here and just put some little dots. And the fun thing is, it's just fun to sit and play with it. It's an Inchie, so you're not wasting much paper. If you decide, I don't like it, I don't want it, and you discard it, you really have not, you really haven't wasted much of anything. And people would say, well, you know, you only just wasted your time. But not really, because if you were having fun while you were doing it, even if it doesn't turn out the way that you wanted it to, well, then you didn't waste your time, because you had a good time doing it. And so therefore it was not a waste of time at all. And so you just, you know, you just continue. And like with doodling, it does take me a while to doodle. You know, like I like to just play with it and play with it until I say, I think I'm done. Kind of doing this like, what do they call that? In the sewing, slow stitching. I'm just slow stitching this, except instead of with thread, I'm doing it with a pen. And so there we go. And that looks kind of cute. We could do something else over here. And then there was one more thing that I wanted to show you. We're going to keep this one just a little short today because I have so many things going on right now. And I'm not 100% sure if I will have a Thursday video or not. I will do my best. And I realized on Sunday that I missed doing last month's giveaway draw that I do at the end of each month for the month before. And so I will have that out. It will be September's draw for the July videos. I will do that sometime this week for sure. I don't know exactly when. Where does that piece here? So I was trying, because the other thing that you can do is take words out of a regular book. And the one thing I didn't do is see if it would fit. Yes, it will. And just take words out of a regular book. And this one says, Mr. Wiggles, mole wiggled with sheer happiness. Well, I like the word happiness. So guess what? We're going to keep that word, or we're going to use that word, and we're going to put it on our Inchie. And sometimes people will say, well, you know, like, oh, the words that are in books and stuff are just too small for me to use in my artwork. Well, if you're making an Inchie, they're the perfect size, because you need something very tiny because it's an Inchie. Let's see if we can hopefully outline it without messing it up. And I just bring my pen, your marker, right up to the edge of the paper and then draw down. I'm not actually drawing on top of the paper. And I missed a spot right here, so just do that side again. There. Now that's going to stand out much better. And if I'm going to put it on here, I guess I need to finish this one. And I don't really want to, I don't want to do the same little lines over here, so I have to kind of think of what do I want to do. Maybe I'll just do some squigglies. Squiggly lines going the same way. I was thinking I was going the opposite way, but oh well. And there we go. And before I put the happiness on there, I'm going to go around the edge of this one also. Maybe I should go around the edge. Now I'm going to do it in black. I was thinking maybe pink, but I don't have a pink marker, and I don't want to do it in red, because I really don't think I would like it in red. Red is not one of my favorite colors. And I just go around it till I get it how I like it. So there we go. I think this side needs to be just a little bit darker. There. And now we can put our little happiness on there. And then we'll stick them on a white sheet of paper so that we can see what they look like better than all of this jumble back here. But look at these cute little frogs. And again, it was just in a kid's book. I think he's so cute. And the little bird. And there we go. There is that one. So, don't forget to click the bell if you want to see when I do put up the videos for, the drawings. And you'll also then know where, you'll know whenever I put up a video for the other series too. And there is a link below to show you how the monthly giveaway works. So, but there we go. That's what we did this week, and look at how easy that was. And this one was done. But other than that, we just made all 4 of these in a very short amount of time. And so it is just something that's fun to do. It's a nice craft to just sit. You know, you can just sit and cut your little pictures. You can sit and do your inchies, you know, cut your inch squares. And, you know, you don't have to do the whole thing all at once. So if you're sitting in the evening and think, I just want to do something, just cut a whole bunch of 1-inch squares. Because you can use them for this. You can use them for the garland. You can use them for so many different things. But yeah, so there's a description below if you want to know how the giveaway works. And I will do my best to be here Thursday with the Journaling on a Budget series. Otherwise, I definitely will see you next week. We do not have a list for what we need next week because we're going to use what we still have, which is we are going to use foam core board, and we are going to use some fun foam. Everything that we're going to use, we already have in our stash. So, well, thank you very much. I hope that you enjoyed this quick little video. I think that these are so fun to make. And also, if you ever want to send me an email, my email address is always in the description of the giveaway. So, but if you'd like to send me pictures of what you've done, you can send them to me, my email. I love to see the different things that everybody else comes up with. So thank you very much for stopping by. I really do appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.